The 49ers make Brock Purdy their franchise quarterback, and it looks like they're going to be extending the general on defense, Fred Warner. We're going to get into all of that right here on the Wayne Breezie Show. Let's get it. What's going on, faithful? It's your boy, the Wayne Breezie. Welcome to the Monday show of the Wayne Breezie Show. I think we're at episode 279. We're going to keep these popping, especially on Mondays. It's good to be here. It's good to be seen. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Everybody, especially if you're a 49ers fan, your weekend should have been great right after the BAM show. Like, soon as the BAM show ended, your weekend should have kicked off great, because the BAM show, what a great episode. But damn it, the Niners decided to break the news right after we finished. Like, they said, we're not going to let, Mike and Breezie break the news. We're going to wait till they finish. And then we're going to bust out with the Brock Purdy news. But if you're sleeping under a rock, Brock Purdy, sound the alarm, has been extended to the San Francisco 49ers. I did a breaking news video. I was on the road. Let me just apologize for AT&T's whack-ass service. I just want to put that out there. AT&T, y'all need to step y'all game up. It's about time I switched to Verizon, because that was ridiculous. It cut off in the middle or at the end of the stream. So I do apologize if the quality wasn't great. I was just trying to break the news to you safely and quickly, right? But listen. Nonetheless, Brock Purdy is here to stay. Shout out to the Breezy Bunch crew, man. I'm going to be giving you guys shout outs. You guys are just amazing. Appreciate you guys for rocking out with your boy. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Leave a comment, all right? Live comments are popping right now. I can see them going on. I got everybody out there in the chat. Appreciate y'all. Going to shout y'all in a bit. But if you're watching the show later on, don't forget, man, leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are on today's topics. All right. Don't forget to follow on social medias at the Wayne Breezie everywhere. YouTube, X, Twitch, you name it. Like, it's just out there. You know what I'm saying? Facebook, Instagram, or Threads, whatever. Like, just go ahead and give me a follow. TikTok for sure. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. The brand is growing because of you. So I just wanted to show you guys your love. And don't forget, subscribe to the podcast if you're listening to it. Shout out to all the podcast listeners, ones that don't get a chance to watch the live show, even though I know I could put it as a live show on the podcast now, which is crazy, right? Or you could just watch it here. But shout out to you guys, man. Make sure you guys subscribe. The Wayne Breezie Show, it's live on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get or listen to your podcast. And again, don't forget to check out our sponsors over at Residency. Greatest partners in the world, man. They've been looking out for me since day one, so they haven't walked away from your boy. But listen, use the promo code SFBreezy. You can save on your total purchase. And if you want to support the stream, you could do it in many ways, all right? There it is right now. I mean, just join the Breezy Bunch crew. We appreciate that, but there's the Venmo, there's the PayPal, Cash App, all that good stuff. So appreciate you guys. All right, man, look. I told you I was going to shout out my crew because they are in the building. So air horns to all the Breezy Bunch members. I got to go with number one, 49ers _ throwback, moderator, member. Happy Monday, faithful. Hope everyone's doing well and y'all had a good weekend. Make sure you hit that like button. Jax, another great moderator out there. Shout out to Jax. Hey, Wayne and faithful. Hope everyone's weekend went well. I'm ready for some football. She's ready for football, right? We got a long way. We're going to talk about those dates before football actually begins, but I'm ready too. At this point, I'm ready too. JP Hella Hard, 2800, man. Appreciate the good morning text as well. Peachy Brown in the building. Good morning. Salutations. Feel like this is a new word for me. Breezy in the faithful chit chat. Let's get it started. Have a great show with the hashtag BB. Don't bother me is in the building. Brandy Williams in the building. Good afternoon to you as well. My sister Felicia in the building. Good morning, faithful and breezy. Happy Monday to everyone. Red and Gold Empire, 49er Jeff, Vince in the building. Man, you guys are on point. Tanisha, what up, cuzzo? Good morning, Breezy. It's good to see everybody. And if I missed a member, my bad. I'm going to get to you guys. Shout out to all the subscribers as well. You guys, appreciate y'all. All right, look. Let's kick the show off with the latest news, which should be broken out very soon, in my opinion. I feel like this is going to happen. The 49ers have been doing a pretty, I would say, drama-free type of a off season. I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Free agency was whack. Like, if I had to grade free agency, it was that. I'm not saying it was an F or a D. It was just whack. If I graded free agency, it's my opinion. Yeah, we addressed free agents. Yeah, we addressed needs. We also let some key pieces go. But if I had to say and give free agency a reaction, it was a thumbs down for me. It just didn't do nothing for me. But then the draft came, and with the draft, we drafted 11 rookies that I think are going to be day one helps, at least the majority of, at least the first 5 picks, I feel like are going to make some type of an impact. So I got to give the draft a round of applause. It's my reactions, not your reactions. It's my reactions. Put your reactions in the live chat. I'll get to it for sure. But that's just my reaction. I feel like with the draft, we address needs. We're looking to stop the run defensively. I don't like what I saw, right? Then we got 6 undrafted guys that I still think may even find a way to make this roster, being that it's relatively young, may the best man win, all that good stuff. So we'll see what happens, but I think, they did that. Never mind the coaching. That was the first thing that they did. So coaching upgrades, A+ for me, whatever. And then we get to extensions. Now, let's talk about these extensions, because I want a girl with extensions in her hair. Bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair. A Fendi bag, Gucci bag today. Bad attitude, the type of chick that keeps me in a good mood. She could walk with a switch or talk her street slang. I love it when a woman ain't scared to do her thing. People probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but if you're LL Cool J fans, Around the Way Girl lyrics. But extensions, George Kittle gets the extension relatively early. That happened out of the woodwork after it said that he wanted to be the highest paid tight end in the NFL, and then he went out and said that your sources aren't correct to certain media analysts out there. And then the 49ers went and made him the highest. And then on May, was it May 16th? What day? It was May 9th. They decided, and I said it would be really cool on May 14th if the San Francisco 49ers on that night unveiled some news other than the new uniforms, right? We didn't get the new uniforms. We got hints. But 2 days after, the Niners decided to go ahead and extend Brock Purdy. And we're going to get to that because there's a lot I want to break down with that. But I couldn't have been more happier because it just showed me that the organization was looking to move forward to the future of this team. They found a pillar, and they made him a happy home with a 5-year extension. All right, kids, cool. We're not done. And now there's news going on saying that one of the second longest tenured draft pick that the 49ers drafted, Fred Warner, the linebacker, is looking to get a multi-year extension. Okay, so I'm excited with that because, when it comes to Fred Warner, I feel like he belongs as a 49er for the rest of his career. Make sure you guys go ahead and let me know how you feel about that. It hasn't been done yet. The news hasn't been broken, but All-Pro Fred Warner, per Jennifer Lee Chan, is close to finalizing a multi-million-year contract extension. I'm thinking it's 3 years. I think he's going to be here. Add another 3 years to his deal. It's going to soften the cap for this year for sure because he's got the highest paid cap hit right now. It'll soften the cap. And then next thing you know, Fred Warner will be here just like George Kittle. George Kittle got 1 year on Fred. 1 year on Fred. So George Kittle, longest tenured 49er. Fred Warner will be number 2. 2 key pillars. Maybe one of the most important pieces on offense has been extended as far as weapon. And then the most explosive player on defense looks like he's going to be extended soon. So I can't even be more happier for a guy like Fred Warner, right? Because Fred Warner has put in the work. He's paid his dues. He was thrown into the fire rookie season, and all he did was supersede every single season. We're talking about an all-pro player. And how ironic is it that the San Francisco 49ers are looking to extend two players, all pros, one already extended in number 85. Number 54 should be getting his extension very soon. Now, I thought he would get extended before Brock Purdy, but hey, it doesn't matter. The point is, this is going to happen probably as soon as I finish recording this episode. That's just how they work. I feel like they watching me, and then as soon as I'm done, they be like, then I got to jump back on and do some type of breaking news. I'll probably be in the car somewhere. But anyway, my man 49er Jeff says, pay that man. Shout out to Melissa. I see you on Facebook. I appreciate you. I like some of the comments in here. JP Hella Hard, 2800, third and JJ next. I think they pumped the brakes on JJ. I think they pumped the brakes on JJ. I don't see the San Francisco first of all right, let me just say this. And you guys can whether you agree or disagree. I feel like the 49ers, I feel like Juwan Jennings wouldn't want to sign an extension yet. I think he's gonna play the game and continue to build his worth. I don't see the Niners paying two wide receivers. They did that already. Now, this could be a little bit different because Brandon Ayuk, who they just paid about a year ago, is pretty much not going to play much this year. Juwan Jennings is going to get another opportunity to show if he could, supersede what he did last year. And for me, superseding would be breaking 1,000 yards and just continue to dominate on the football field. If he breaks that 1,000-yard mark, man, Juwan Jennings is gone. I hate to say it. He's gone. So this is one of them cases you hope that Ricky Pearsall is the main man and Juwan Jennings continues to support if you want Juwan Jennings to kind of remain a 49er. But if he wants to be an X, if he wants to be that guy, he wants to be the number one receiver, and then he starts looking for number one money, we can't be mad. Can't be mad if if those are his goals. I would be happy for him. I just don't know if the Niners are going to be willing to pay two wide receivers. Now, if the deal is a 3-year extension and it's feasible for the team and he agrees to it, hey, sign me up. You know what I mean? Sign me up. I see some questions out there, so let's get to that. Peachy says, smash the like button for this amazing fire content. Smash that button right now. Okay? Smash that button right now. I see y'all got jokes for me, and you know what? You know what? I got something for y'all. Here we go.
Bullshit?
No.
Bullshit?
Ah, of course. Now, Melissa says, Breezie, agree to disagree on Juwan Jennings. It's cool. I'm just stoked he finally got something past his perpetual 1-year tenders. Now, Juwan Jennings was already extended by the 49ers, and he signed a 2-year extension. And I didn't think it was a great deal for him, but it was going to be a great opportunity for him to show his worth. And with Ayuk going down last year, you can't tell me that young gentleman didn't step up to the plate. So I liked everything we got from Juwan Jennings. My point that I'm trying to make is it sounds like Juwan Jennings is pricing himself out of the bay. You know what I mean? Now, this doesn't mean he won't take a discount. He doesn't want to stay. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it just sounds like because of how great he played, and if he is a number one receiver and he plays like a number one wide receiver, that cat is on his way out. He would have priced himself out, and I'm not mad at him because I want him to get paid. Now, I'm looking for a comment from Felicia, and I'm trying to find it. Troy, what's going on? Much love to you too, baby. My man, 27 months been supporting the podcast and the live streams, man. Appreciate you, Troy. It's good to see you. Good to hear from you. Felicia, God dang it, where is that comment? Let's see. Where is it? I'm going to find it. I promise you. You asked the question and I wanted to address, unless you deleted it. Oh, here it is. Do you think Moody is out of here since they signed the kicker? Now, listen, let me just clarify my love for this 49ers team. first and foremost. That's where it is. I just want people to know. Okay? Now, I'm rooting for Moody. Don't get it twisted. I'm rooting for every 49er player there is. But I'm rooting for Moody because I don't feel like we've seen the best of Moody. And I'm saying that from a personal experience. Now, I don't know if he's shot mentally or physically. I mean, meaning that his spirit is I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain what we saw from Moody. Here's what I do know. Jake Moody suffered an injury last year trying to save a touchdown. And he did it. And he got injured. And when he came back, he just did not look the same. Now, prior to that injury, I think he had one missed field goal, and he was like NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. And like you saw a trend up, and then he got injured, and he came back. He was the worst kick. He wasn't even the worst kicker in the league, but he was damn near bottom of the barrel. I don't know what's going on in his head. I do know we talked about this, what Special Teams Coordinator Brent Boyer said, and we also knew that the Niners were going to bring in a veteran kicker, which they did. They signed Greg Joseph to a 1-year deal. There will be competition, and I don't know. So what I do know is this. If you've been following me, per the reports, no one has outkicked Jake Moody in practice. No one. No matter who they brought in, they have not outkicked him in practice. For some reason, in practice, when it doesn't matter, he doesn't miss. Follow the reports. That's per Matt Mayoko. He kicks in practice. He doesn't miss. He makes those long ones. The only ones he probably doesn't practice are the ones underneath, weather. So I don't know. If Jake Moody loses the kicking battle, I will be just as excited for Greg Joseph as I was excited for Jake Moody. I want to put that out there because all I want to do is make sure that the San Francisco 49ers have the best 53 men plus the 2 on their roster come week 1. That's all I care about. So I'm hoping people understand, regardless of what my allegiance is to the University of Michigan, go blue, I'm going to be that for life. I care about the red and gold, and I care about putting the best product out there on the football field. I hope I don't have to address this again. And if Jake Moody misses, you already know how I feel. But at the end of the day, he's getting another opportunity. He's going into his 3rd year. But now they're going to be bringing in a veteran kicker. That's a better percentage field goal kicker. I think you go from 76 from Jake Moody. I put out a post to like 83, 85% from the veteran Greg Joseph. So we'll just see what happens. We'll see what happens. Not sure if he lasted in the NFL. He played for like 4 teams last year, 3 or 4 teams last year. The last one was the Commanders. Didn't last there. So I'm curious to see what happens. But all I know is if Greg Joseph can outkick Moody in practice, Greg Joseph should be the starting kicker. It's competition. And I'm all for it at every position. Please, faithful, understand that. I'm all for it at every position. I promise you. If he gets outkicked, please move forward. We're not keeping 2 kickers. You know what I mean? We're not keeping 2 kickers. So I don't know if it's mental. I don't know if it's physical. I'm hoping it was physical over mental, meaning that I hope the injury was hindering him, and we'll see what happens when he comes back in training camp. Speaking of training camp, let's get to those dates because we got some 49er key dates coming up. Rookie minicamp already happened. All right, so we got OTAs about to kick off very shortly. Oh, this is about to be fun. Like the OTAs are going to kick off, and then the 49ers, May 27th, May 28th, May 30th, June 2nd through the 3rd, June 5th, and then you got mandatory minicamp June 10th and June 11th. So we got that, and then training camp obviously will come sometime in July, right? And the cool thing is the Niners got all their deals done. That's the best part. You know what? Can we give a round of applause to the 49ers front office? Well-deserved round of applause. Round of applause to the 170 people plus watching this show, and thank you for the likes and stuff like that. But so these dates are important Brock Purdy signing important because now he's going to be there at the beginning of OTAs when phase 1 or phase 2. I guess we're not sure what phase we're calling it. The installs happen. It's going to be, you know what I'm saying, crazy dope. Like, you know what I mean? It's going to be crazy dope. And so I'm super excited. I'm super excited because my quarterback is going to be in there and lead his team. All right. And that's what they need. They need their leader. They need their captain. Brock Purdy's a captain. He'll be a captain for the rest of his life. Okay. They need their captain for the rest of their life. I see some more questions out there. All right. So here we go. Question, Melissa over on Facebook. Breezie, you think Hyena takes over big play Dre Crown as the Hawk Slayer, gets a pick 6 on Sam Darnold? We finally get a Demo TD not spoiled by Nick Bosa flag. You are dead wrong. I thought I was dead wrong. That was funny. Yeah. So, I just feel like Demo, my thoughts on Demo is that Demo just continues to excel. You know, how he chooses to take over is going to be different. How we've seen Big Play or Dre take over. Will he be that guy to be the Seahawks slayer or whatever? It's to be determined, in my opinion. They changed up. If that's fair to say, they've changed up. When you look at their offense, they've changed up. They have different types of wide receivers. They have more east to west wide receivers opposed to the physical north and south wide receivers. And so it's going to be a little bit different. I'm not saying that's going to hinder the style or the play of Diamador Lenore, but he's going to have to he's going to have to focus on more of the lateral ball movement from their offense. Now, I just feel like that ain't Sam Darnold's game, if that makes any sense to you, Melissa. I don't feel like that's Sam Darnold's game. That was Geno Smith's game. He was dinking dunking, and you know, I feel like he's more of that deep ball thrower, and so those passes to me are well defended by Diamador Lenore. Now, this is coming off a guy that says that Diamador Lenore was definitely the best slot corner, but they got different receivers, and they got to deal with Cooper Kupp. You got to deal with Jackson Smith and Jigba and some of the other guys that they added to their roster. So it's going to be a little different. So I can't wait to see what happens, but I just think that Demo continues to excel. I've just go back to his rookie year. Like you know what's cool about our squad? When we watch the guys grow from pups into dogs. And I remember Demo's rookie season, same year Ambry Thomas came in, same draft. Ambry Thomas, obviously 3rd round pick. Demo, 5th round? When you look at that game against Philly where he got torched by Quez Watkins, I believe that was the receiver, and then he got beat again, and then I think the out of bounds helped him or whatever. I was like, he gonna get it. The only way he gonna get it, though, is through reps. I feel like Demo got tested. He got beat on some reps. Then he got better. And I feel like you only get better when you get beat. I know that sucks, but that's how you learn. And I feel like Demo being thrown into the fire got better. It's the same connotation as Fred Warner. Fred Warner wasn't a great coverage linebacker his rookie year. He was all over the field, but he led the team in tackles. I know he was a tackling machine. And then he just got better. He got better. The more reps he got, the better he got. That's why I'm so excited about this year's rookie class, if that makes any sense. Like, you know what I mean? I'm excited to see if these rookies are going to get the reps, like watching them excel and get better and grow over the time period of a long-ass football season. I love it. So I think Demo is just going to continue to excel, exceed all expectations, but he's going to have to play defense a little bit differently when it comes to the Seahawks because they changed up their style of offense. You know what I like? I like Demo versus the Rams offense now, right? Just give it to me. Like, I feel like if you put Demo in the slot over Puka, I'm loving the matchup. I also want to see him cover Devontae Adams. Call me crazy, but that's what I want to see. Devontae should be slower. He should be. Father Time should be catching up at some point, but my point is he's a dangerous guy. I can't wait to see the Rams versus the freaking 49ers twice, maybe 3 times. I feel like those are the 2 teams that are going to be top in the division. Ben, what's going on? What's good, family? Wayne and all my others. Love you all. Question, why are you so awesome? Man, I appreciate that, man. I'm awesome because of you. That's why. If you want to know, trust me. It take me a minute to get up here and do these shows, man. I got to go through mental, physical. It takes me a minute. I get nervous, but I'm awesome because of you. How long does it take before the rookie guy? I like these questions. All right, so it's a tough one, JP. It all comes down to what we see in camp. I think that's tough to say. I think the greatest thing for Connor Colby. Well, first of all, I think I feel like he can come in and win a starting spot. I'm hoping there's no favoritism. I'm hoping there's no favoritism. Meaning that I hope the guy who they signed in like a Ben Barch doesn't get it because they signed. No, I'm hoping that's not what it is. But for Connor Colby, if I'm Connor, I just come out and I ball out. I make them make him start. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I make them say, hey man, double check. Let me double check. Now, they drafted Connor Colby because I believe he's a perfect scheme fit for this offense. You talking outside zone, that's what we like to run. Now, in pass pro, it's weird. He only gave him 1 sack. He can't be that bad. You know what I mean? So, if he wins the starting job, because Ben Barch is coming off of an injury, and I don't know if it's going to go to Spencer Burford. I really feel like Burford may end up taking if I'm the Niners, Burford replaces Jalen Moore. That's my swing tackle. If I'm the Niners, but I'm not. But we'll have to see how that pans out. So Burford will have a job. He knows he's the swing. And I like watching Burford play tackle, guard. I just like his versatility. And again, another guy that just needs consistent reps, right? So he doesn't make mental mistakes. That's what reps do. They get you from making mental mistakes. So I don't know how long it takes, bro, but I feel like for him, it can happen. Like, it can happen. In my opinion, if he comes out and balls out like he should in practice, he might win the starting spot. Jack says, Wayne, how many rookies do you think will start? Now, this is a tough question. We drafted 11 players. Honestly, I only see I see maybe 2, 3 at the most. I think if I go now, I think Michael Williams starts. I don't know if they start Alfred Collins. I want them to, but I don't know if they do. I'll tell you what, Alfred Collins will start because he'll be on base downs, right? So your first and second down when teams are looking to run the ball, he'll be out there for sure. And maybe you put CJ West out there, possibly. So that to me, maybe those 3 guys are starters. And I already said that I think Nick Martin wins out the number 2 linebacker. So that's 4 players. I don't see CJ West starting, but if we're talking those first and second downs and you're looking to stop the run, I don't want Jordan Elliott. I'm not saying Jordan Elliott and Kalia Davis and Evan. I mean, Evan Anderson could be a starter too, but I think the players that they drafted are better. Now I know he ended up performing well. I'm gonna go with 3 to 4 of those players will be starters. I think long shot. Who would be the long shot starter? Not the quarterback. All right, because the quarterback was Curtis Rourke. So as a long shot starter, you would think it's one of those 7th round picks. I don't know. You would think it would be one of the 7th round picks like the Junior Bergen. He won't start, but he will start maybe on special teams if he can prove that he can win that. So does that declare him as a starter? Connor Colby might end up, we just talked about him, may end up starting. So it's a possibility. I got 3 to 4. Throwback says 7. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. God dang. 7 at 11? Hey, yo, listen, I'm for it, though. You dig? I'm for it. 7 at 11, I'm all for it. Trust me. I'm all for it. Just love showing Facebook some love. Troy, what's going on? He says, do you think we should go after Asante Samuel? Can I be the first to say no? I know the name. I know the lineage. But I really like our young guys. I really do like our young guys. Now, if there's an injury, hell yeah. If there's no injury, I'm going into camp with my young dogs. I'm going in there. I want to see Darrell Luter be better. I want to see these young guys we just drafted. I think you go into camp knowing if he's still a free agent, and he might get picked up by a different team, and that's cool. That means it's not meant to happen. But I'm going to go and no. I'm not sure if I'm the only person saying no, Troy, but I'm going to go and no because I feel like the Niners have drafted several corners and they need reps, and this is camp, and so give them the reps. And so now we can see what we're working with. I think Saleh needs to really see what he's working with. And I think he knows there's going to be some veterans out there, God forbid, if something goes down. Now, if there's an injury, potentially, yeah, you go after a guy like Asante Samuel. But I really like the Niners and the young guys out there. So I'm thinking the reps is what I'm super stoked on. Niners on the Go podcast. Love that. Burford was a tackle at UTSA, so I never liked him moving inside. I know, but the Niners love versatile, athletic bigs. I feel like I just said a basketball analogy, right? And I agree with you. I like, but I think the athleticism from the young fella. And I love Spencer Burford. Like, first of all, let me tell you why I love him. Number one, because he just doesn't, from a personal experience, he just doesn't allow his status to separate him from being real, and I respect that. Now, I respect everybody's wishes, but when you can reach out to a player and they kind of like respond like real wholeheartedly, that's dope to me. That's real dope to me. That's why I say like no matter how famous I get, I always want to be a person that can respond to a comment and be reachable at some extent. Like, you know what I mean? So I like that about him. I think that's his personality. That's his character. And I just think he just needs reps. I really feel like the younger you are, the more reps you need. And when you ain't out there consistently, you gonna make mistakes. I ain't gonna bring up the big mistake. He knows he made that mistake, right, Spence? Like I'm sure you're watching. You had a brain fart. It was cool. It's cool. You didn't win or lose that game. You could have helped the team win at that moment, but you didn't win or lose the game. I don't want people to stop putting that, we lost the game, Spencer Burford. No, we lost the game over a series of dumbass events. That's why we lost Super Bowl. Right? Spencer Burford, if he could have made that block, who knows? Brock still might have missed the pass, even though it was wide open. Who knows? We'll never know. I just think it would have helped us. But at the end of the day, I feel like he just needs reps. And I think as a tackle swing, I think that would be perfect for him. Oscar! My man Oscar says Williams, Collins, Upton. Oh, man. I think Upton stout. I'm excited to see the battle of who's going to be that nickelback. They did bring in Trey Brown, so I'm excited to see the veteran come out there coming off of an injury. But it's something about this rookie that just screams dog. Like, you going to give me an opportunity, and I'm going to take full advantage of the opportunity. Like, that's what I'm getting from Upton Stout, and I love it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I love it. All right, so I appreciate the questions, man. I love that. You know what I'm saying? Kylie says he thinks West will start. I think, Kylie, you start West and you start Collins on first down, second down, and then on third down, you bring in the quicker guys. I think that's where maybe you bring in Kevin Givens because we know he's more of a pass rushing defensive tackle. You bring in those guys that could be quick. You could move maybe Bosa. I would line up Bosa and what's his name? Michael Williams on the same side and have one play inside. I mean, and then maybe stunt. These defense, Saleh is about to feast. He about to have fun. So I think on third downs, You know what I'm saying? Especially third and longs when you're looking to rush the passer. Yeah, you could take those guys off the field. I think this draft was all about, you know what I'm saying, getting depth. You know what I mean? Getting depth, 1,000%. Tanisha says, refresh my memory. Did Brock contract affect our cap for this season? It affected in a positive way, and we're about to get into that. So thank you for the perfect segue. Let's talk about Brock Purdy and his contract extension and him being the franchise. And I want to leave your comment up there, so bear with me so I can get back to that. It affected in a positive way. And what do I mean by that? Simply that it just lessened the cap, right? It lessened the cap a little bit, you know what I mean? Giving the Niners a little bit of cap relief because his contract extension, it's more cash up front, more money out of Jed York's pocket. Remember, that was the big thing. Jed York wanted to save money that he was spending, and so he did. He saved it to pay Brock Purdy up, the cash signing bonus, right? And so that's good. And we'll get into his contract. So, it's great. It's great for the team now. If they had to make a serious move, it's great for the team now because the Niners still have cap space. Yeah, I love it. You know what I mean? And I love it. But Brock Purdy, the Niners franchise is all there. This is all set up for now and the future. And that's what being a franchise guy is all about. And when you look at Brock Purdy and you look at what he did, and we're going to take a look at the article from Albert Breer, poached by my guy, Coach Yak. We're going to take a look at that. I just want people to understand, just looking at the deal, 5-year, $265 million extension, includes a whopping $100 million, fully guaranteed at the signing. It's far and away, according to Matt Mayoko, the richest contract in 49ers history. We talk about 49ers history. The deal has $181 in overall guaranteed money per Adam Schefter. All right, per Adam Schefter. So Brock Purdy, richest contract in 49ers history, which it should be because he's the quarterback of this team. And if you just look at what he's done. This is where Brock Purdy is ranked as a starter. Since 2022, this is where he's ranked as a starter. And this isn't all the stats, but these are some goddamn important stats. Let's talk about pass yards per attempt. Yards per attempt. YPA. When you see me post stuff like at the end of games, he was averaging 9, 8, 7, 6, 10, 12, 13. When you see those, that's per play. He's averaging that many yards per attempt. Every time he drops back, blah, 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 pass catch, boom, 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 boom. This guy can move the ball. 9 yards is pretty damn good since it's number one, right? 6.1 pass touchdown percentage. He's second in that. He's first in passer rating at 106.2, and he's fourth in postseason wins, which means he's really tied for third. So technically he's third, but he's fourth. And I get it. Cool, right? So these are reasons why the Niners decided to make him the highest paid player in their franchise history at the quarterback position. These are reasons why they wanted to go with Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy made all the sense for the San Francisco 49ers, and it should start to make sense for you as of why, because the only thing Brock Purdy hasn't done, well, two things. Number one, win an MVP, which he was in the MVP race for 2 seasons ago, and number two, just get the Super Bowl, right? But there's several top paid quarterbacks that haven't won the Super Bowl. I got a list right here because Brock Purdy, per 33rd team, is tied for 7th. So I want somebody on this list watching this show. I want somebody to show me which quarterback has won a Super Bowl. Somebody show me which quarterback has won a Super Bowl. I want to see a name in my live chat. Which quarterback won a Super Bowl? That's it. And then I tell you what. Show me the name of the quarterbacks that have been to the Super Bowl. Show me. I see. I don't see. I was waiting for that, Peachy. None. Zero. No, so none have won a Super Bowl. Not even Brock. All right. Now let's talk about those in the Super Bowl. Jack says 2 NFC appearances and a Super Bowl for Brock Purdy. All right. NFC championships. 2 NFC championships and a Super Bowl. Right. I mean, well, 1 NFC championship and a Super Bowl appearance. All right. Because we lost the one to the Eagles. I love this. I love this. I do. I love this. All right. So let's talk about that because somebody showed me. So Burrow, Goff. I'm still waiting. I only see 2. And then if you add in Brock Purdy and Lamar Jackson was in the AFC champion. Well, he never went to the Super Bowl. I said Super Bowl. That's what I asked. That was the question. All right. So we got Jared Goff, we got Brock Purdy, and we got Joe Burrow. And as you can see, I got a poll question out. Was Brock Purdy underpaid, man? I'm just curious to know. He is one of the top 10 highest paid quarterbacks per year. He's set to make $53 million per year. He's tied with Jared Goff, who was just in the Super Bowl. And don't be a homer, but let me ask you this. We looked at Brock Purdy's stats, and we see where in some of his stats, he's number 1, number 2, number 1, tied for 3. All right, cool, right? Would you say that Brock Purdy is greater than some of these quarterbacks on this stat sheet as far as highest paid? I'm just curious to know. Because in my opinion, I do feel like he's better than several other quarterbacks. And if people feel like making $53 million a year is overpaying a quarterback for doing the 2 NFC appearances, 1 NFC championship, and a Super Bowl appearance in 3 years of he's going into his 4th year. In 3 years of playing this game, 2 years as a full starter, 1 year as a reliever pitcher, which is one of the years he went to the NFC championship game. If you're telling me that this is overpaying a guy, I'm curious to know what in the hell y'all smoking. I feel like he's being underpaid. And maybe I'm the only one that feel like he's being underpaid, and that's fine. But I really feel like Brock should be making $55 million or more. That's just me. Because when I look at those $55 million quarterbacks, Josh, Joe, you know what? I think Brock is better than Joe Burrow. Yep, I said it. I don't give a fuck about a physical attribute. I don't care about none of that. I think Brock's processing is better, and Brock doesn't have T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. So you can miss me with that. I think Brock is better than Joe Burrow. And you can say, well, Joe Burrow doesn't have George Kittle. Get out of here. I'm telling you right now, I think he's better. I think he's better than Dak Prescott. But I understand where I think Brock's mental came into this and said, listen, I'm not going to hold my team hostage here for all this money. I don't need Dak Prescott money. I need Super Bowl aspiration winning money, meaning that I still want to compete every single season. To me, this contract that he signed lets me know that Brock Purdy the window is wide open. And I love it. And for me, I feel like the team got the deal they needed, and I think Brock Purdy got the deal he needed. And here's the icing on the cake, because this guy got reported. Per Mike Garafalo says, as a part of his 5-year, $265 million extension, he received a full no-trade clause for the duration of the deal. Sources tell the insiders Purdy gets financial security and control. Control. Hey, my Janet Jackson fans out there, gets control over his future in a deal that will be finalized and official soon. So this is going to be made finalized and official by the 49ers. It's going to come out soon. Listen, you can't tell me that Brock Purdy isn't the franchise. And there was a statement made by a good. I'm gonna say he's a good friend because he's a go bluer. Rich Eisen said Brock Purdy went from worst to first. And I think a lot of people took that out of context. And I just want to kind of break down what I think he meant. I don't know if this is what he meant, but this is what I think he meant. When you go from Mr. Irrelevant to Mr. Franchise, that's going from worst to first. When you go from being the last pick of the draft to a franchise quarterback for an organization, you go from worst to first. Now, for those that feel like that's not what he meant, cool, but just hear me out. Because when you look at Brock Purdy and he went from Mr. Irrelevant, can't do this, can't do that, no one wants to give him a chance, Niners gave him a chance, got into a game because of not one injury, but two injuries. It took two injuries for Brock Purdy to see the field. Two, not one, two. Thank you. No, I don't want to thank players to being injured, but it took that. It took Trey Lance getting injured, being done for the season, and then Jimmy Garoppolo getting injured, being done for the season. Like, it took that to happen. And then when he came in, you know what he did? He never looked back. It's almost like when you get that opportunity, you're like, I'm not coming back out. We've seen this happen time after time. We've seen it happen with Tom Brady and Drew Bledsoe. Why do I keep calling Drew? What the hell is Drew's name? Not Drew Bledsoe. What's the Bledsoe name? Yeah, I said it right. Drew Bledsoe. Yeah, thinking of Eric Bledsoe, basketball. Anyway, it happened time after time, and we've seen it, and Brady never wanted to come back out neither, so he kept finding ways to win. And I feel like when we get a guy like Brock Purdy, I feel like the things that you can't measure, and this is not saying he's a perfect quarterback. I don't think any quarterback in the NFL is perfect, not even the great Patrick Mahomes, because he makes tons of mistakes out there on the football field. But I think what I love about Brock Purdy is the simple fact that this cat definitely knows how to win. And regardless of the type of season that he had last year, which is still good, it was still good. I don't know what y'all thought a bad season of Brock Purdy's was. He had a good season last year. It's just that the team couldn't win. Numbers were still good. He had a good season. He had a good season. It wasn't as great as the season before, but as a quarterback, it was pretty damn good. I just feel like Brock going into this season, no drama, contract signed, security there. We're going to talk about that no trade clause. Not having that, meaning that he can still control the destiny of what the team wants to do. Psh, if they want to move on, I ain't going there, dog. Find me a different team, which will cause drama. I love it, right? We went from no drama to having drama. Having a no trade clause is going to include drama depending on Brock. Like, right? He controls the drama. I love it. I feel like Brock is going to bring this team to newer heights. I feel like Brock is going to bring this team to newer heights. And I'm not saying that because I'm a homer. I'm saying that because we've seen it. We've seen him rise to the occasion. And the only times we really saw him struggle was against heavy blitzing defenses, which he's really good against the blitz. It's more like the team can't figure out other stuff, and inclement weather. And I don't think we don't know what the weather's going to be like in the future forecast of some of the games that we're playing in. But at the end of the day, he's going to need more reps and playing and getting prepared for that. But I think having the security and going into an offseason with nothing to worry about, knowing that I'm going from a $5 million man to a $53 million man. And don't forget, this one particular game that he had this season, where he was going to be that $5 million because of the bonuses, because of him outplaying his contract, right? Brock Purdy's rookie contract, 4 years, $3.7 million. That was his total contract. He ended up earning bonuses, which was going to make him get to $5 million this particular season. And then look at his next contract. He's going to be making $3.12 million per game over the next 5 seasons. You have to say that Brock did something right. Now, let's talk about some of the issues out there. And then I want to end the show reading something from Albert Breer. Mark says the issue is he can't make players around him better like Brady or Mahomes. The players around him make him better. See, I disagree with this wholeheartedly. I do. I disagree with this wholeheartedly. Because at the end of the day, Mahomes, who did he necessarily make better? I'm trying to figure it out. And even with Brady's offense, Josh McDaniels ran the same, to me, the offense that the 49ers run, which we don't see much of as of lately, right? 2 tight end sets when they had Hernandez and they had Gronk. This is, to me, when they were most dynamic, right? But they were always changing it up. By that point, if you go back to Brady when he first came in, they were trying to run the ball. They weren't letting Brady pass. They were running the ball, and the defense played. Boom, Super Bowl. First couple of Super Bowls was that. And then the offense started to evolve as Brady started to evolve. Does that make sense? And so as Brady evolved, yeah, they weren't getting top-tier talented guys, but we haven't even given Brock Purdy a chance because Ricky Pearsall wasn't there at the beginning of the training camp. He dealing with his stuff off the field and whatnot. It was just a different offense, and I'm not giving Brock any excuses. But you had your number one guy, couldn't hold on to the ball. It's about Deebo Samuel, didn't help Brock out much, right? George Kittle did, but we already knew George Kittle was established. We couldn't successfully run the ball. We were going with Jordan Mason. He gets injured. When you can't throw the ball, bruh, the defense is going to match up. They're going to play run, and they're going to force you to pass. And when you're passing, you're going to probably make more mistakes. I just feel like with Brady's offense, he always had that out, and he always had the trust of throwing the ball to a running back, which was a check down. And that's something that Brock, to me, has to definitely add to his game. If he adds that check down, which is, to me, a part of football, we see Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes made his team better because of his ability to escape the play, keep the play alive. He was pressured, and then a guy just being wide open after running around for 7 seconds. I don't know. I just think you got to give Brock. I just kind of disagree with this statement. I don't think it always has to be superstar players, but when you're talking about a guy like Brandon Ayuk, to me, who had the greatest rapport with a guy like Brock Purdy. I mean, to me, look, if you go back to the Jimmy Garoppolo contract, the Jimmy Garoppolo days, he struggled, and the moment they got a guy that just knew how to run a route and be where they needed to be, Jimmy looked unfucking touchable. It was Emmanuel Sanders. So, yeah, I think sometimes it's the player that helps the quarterback, but sometimes the quarterbacks just need players that understand the concepts of the game. And I think we had a lot of young players, and they didn't understand the concept, and Brock just couldn't make them better. But give him another year. Give Brock another year with some of these young guys, and let's see what happens. That's just my thought on that. Just my take on that. I agree. Like, it was dink and dunks, bro. And a lot of it was Travis Kelce getting open after 7 seconds. It was a lot of it was, even in the Super Bowl, the defense was good. Tyreek Hill just ran back and caught an underneath thrown ball under pressure. And it just gave him life. I don't know, man. It's hard to say that. I'm not comparing him to these guys or anything. I'm just saying, like, I think he just needs time to develop with some of the younger players, and it's hard to make a lot of young players great. Like, if they're not on the same page, it's tough. Now, I think the cool thing was you saw him and Ricky Pearsall started to build the connection. I think that's promising. Well, I think that's promising. I think that's pretty promising. So let's talk back to the franchise. So, yeah, look, Brock, franchise guy, very well deserved. And he's going to be here for the next 5 years. And the Niners window is going to be there. I think guys are going to develop. I'm praying that guys develop. Like, that's what I'm hoping for as far as the linemen and things like that. But my man, Coach Yak, put this out from Albert Breer. All right, so Albert Breer, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he was saying going into the 2024 season and coming off the Super Bowl, his agent asked Purdy if he wanted to discuss priorities for a life-changing second contract he'd be eligible for in 2025. The 49ers quarterback said he'd rather lock in on football and cross that bridge after the year. So we're talking about the mindset of Brock Purdy. Right? We're talking about his mindset. So apparent to his agent, this is what he said to his agent. Listen, I know I'm going to be available, but I'd rather lock in. Just keep that in mind. Like I rather like that. Things didn't go exactly to plan thereafter. The Niners finished fourth in total offense. Purdy was seventh in QBR. Team collapsed under a rash of injuries and finished the second half of the season 2-6. A cap purge followed, but the team's plan at quarterback didn't relent. Strong and his agent told Purdy before the combine to be prepared to get a deal done on the first day of training camp. Part of that is just how these things go, and part was probably what the Niners went through the past few summers with Debo, Nick, Ayuk. Lynch said early on he wanted to avoid that with Purdy after the sides had their initial meeting in February. That seemed to be the course set. So this was definitely something that they had in plan. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you that there was no way they were going to let a quarterback situation go as long as they allow Debo, Purdy, and Ayuk. It just wasn't going to go. This is a quarterback. You need a quarterback. All right. So that's just on that. This is about Brock being the franchise guy, and I'm just giving you some tips on why he's the franchise guy. All right. This isn't to say this all happened in a straight line. The Niners made the first move. We talked about that $45 million per year deal, that rumor that was out there. In the first meeting, the Niners got their point across that they weren't going to break the records with the contract. At the second meeting in Indy, it was established that Purdy's side wasn't going to do a deal that didn't have a strong cash flow structure and guarantees. Hence that 5-year, hence the total guarantees, $181 million total guarantee. Things that would affirm that he would be San Francisco guy for the foreseeable future. Being the guy for the foreseeable future equals franchise. All right. The result, there's a lot of work to do. All right. I'm gonna skip some stuff. You guys can read this on your own. As such, Purdy didn't want things to get ugly. Reported to the offseason program. So Purdy again was locked in. He reported to the offseason program. We're talking about that early phase of the camp, right? At the end of last week, Strong called Hampton looking for one last concession, promising a deal if Purdy got it. Hampton called Marate, John Lynch, and Kyle Shanahan, who were on a golf trip, and the 5-year, $265 million deal was pushed over the goal line. The deal didn't break records on the Niners side of the line. On Purdy's side, it did more or less commit the Niners to the foreseeable future. Here's some key points per Albert Breer, and you guys can read this on your own, but the contract, $165.05 million in new money over the first 3 years, edged out Jared Goff's contract deal last year. So even though he's tied for 7th, he should be ahead of Jared Goff as far as top quarterbacks paid. He gets $215 million in new money over the first 4 years, which means he'll make $220.3 million over the first 5 years of the deal. That leaves $50 million in 2030, the final year of the 6-year, $270.346 million deal. Now, if people trying to figure out the 5th year, the 6 years, don't forget he still has this year's deal included in there as a 5-year extension. So 5 + 1 = 6. So I just want people to understand the numbering here, all right, which tells you this isn't a heavily backloaded deal. Finally, we don't get a backloaded deal with a bloated number at the end to make it look prettier, something Purdy's camp wanted to avoid by comparison. He'll make $55.05 million in 28, and then $45.9 million in 2029, and then we talked about the number fluctuating back up to $50 million in the last year of the deal. Purdy gets 62% of his money in the first 3 years, which tops the cash flow in the most of the richer quarterback contracts that are done. And then last and certainly not least, he gets the trade clause, which was off the table initially. Here's the kicker, and a first for the 49ers. All right, a first for the 49ers. So this is super interesting to know. Brock Purdy was thinking football first, which means he wanted to be locked in first. The deal got done a lot sooner rather than later for the 49ers and for Brock Purdy. I don't know about you, but I am super excited to see Brock Purdy loaded up in camp when it starts on May 28th, right? May 28th, OTA is about to be lit. You got your quarterback there. You got your receivers. You got your running backs. Christian McCaffrey is back. Listen, I don't know the status on Trent Williams, but from what we heard, Trent Williams is good to go as of right now, so we'll see how that plays. I think the Niners' offensive line is going to take a stride in the right direction, so I think that's going to trend upwards. I'm just being very optimistic and overly positive about the 49ers because they got their quarterback, they got their running back, they got wide receivers, their tight end is secured, the offense is back, and that should get everybody, like, excited. I just feel like the only piece you're missing to a 49ers offense is technically, the only key piece you're missing is Deebo Samuel. You lost Brandon Ayuk last year, and you still figured out how to run the offense. Might not have ran as fluently, but you figured it out. I think you know what you got with Juwan Jennings. I think you know what you're going to get from Ricky Pearsall. I feel like Jacob Conley's taking strides in the right direction, and we got some other young pieces for sure. But I think they went and got a veteran tight end. They got a guy that they can incorporate 12 personnel with Luke Farrell being out there on the football field. They brought back Ross Dwelly, a guy that's familiar with the system. I told you, like, I didn't think that the Niners off season as far as free agency was like screaming, yeah. No, but they might have made all the right moves. We just aren't aware of it. They have addressed the defensive position, particularly the secondary, particularly the safety position, more than any position this year in the offseason, right? And so the Niners, I feel like, offensively, and we're going to talk about this on the BAM show with my man Mike, I feel like the Niners offense is about to be trending up. Everybody's locked in because their quarterback is locked in. And if your quarterback is locked in, I'm expecting Kyle Shanahan to do wonders. Kyle Shanahan and Clay Kubiak to do wonders with the 49ers offense out there. Now, I did ask a poll question. Did you guys feel like Brock Purdy was being underpaid? I don't know where the poll question went. Maybe I didn't ask the poll question. I thought I did. I feel like I don't see it anymore. So it might have stopped. I might have stopped it. Why don't I see the poll question? That's interesting. But anyway, my point is I feel like Brock Purdy is slightly underpaid. But I love his mindset, and I love the simple fact that he's ready to lock in. And I think that's going to be very dangerous for whatever team that plays the San Francisco 49ers this upcoming season. I don't care how easy the schedule says it is. This team still has to go out there and perform. And I think moving forward, we're going to see a lot of positivity coming out of training camp. You're going to see a lot of rapport build. You're going to see a lot of connections build. And don't sleep. Brandon Ayuk will be back. Felicia said 83% said no. All right. Thank you so much. I don't know where the poll. I don't know how the poll just ended. That is crazy for me. All right. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Were there any final questions on today's episode? What a show. Kylie says Cowan can do some things of the. Listen, I feel like the sky's the limit for Jacob Cowing. I think Jacob Cowing can be used as the Z back in the backfield and do what Deebo. And that doesn't mean you run him north and south. No, that means he has the speed to move laterally, if that makes any sense. He has the speed to move laterally. Thank y'all so much for telling me how much the poll question did. I appreciate that. I'll just read some of the comments, man. When I go on a rant, I don't be paying attention to what's going on out there. Did I miss anything? I did. Guys, I'll see you back here, man. The BAM show will be in full effect for Shizzo. Where the hell is my poll question? Somebody delete the poll? Moderators, did y'all delete my poll? I don't see the poll. All right. But appreciate it, man. 83% says no. I didn't end it. I love the votes, though. I love the votes. Love the votes. Guys, we'll be back. BAM show today, 4 p.m. Mike and I be chopping it up, and we'll be talking more about this Brock Purdy's extension. I can't wait to get his take on it. But you guys are amazing. Thanks for watching. Keep it faithful to the BAM. Until next time. Peace out. What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.